Well, hello, folks, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, and this is Prepare to be Assimilated. Cube prison from the sky soon to appear. Well, again, I'm fulfilling another request, and we're putting together this teaching for those of you that specifically asked for it, and because it's a doggone good idea. Now, tonight from 10 p.m. Eastern until midnight, and of course, that's 7 p.m. until 9 on the left coast, I will be the guest of Vinny Eastwood on the Vinny Eastwood Show on the American Freedom Radio Network. So we do welcome you to listen in if you're in a locale that has a terrestrial station, and we certainly invite you to go to VinnyEastwood.com, and you will find, I think it might, or just look up Vinny Eastwood. I'm not sure if it's VinnyEastwood.com or not, but we'll be on there for 2 hours tonight. Looking very forward to it. It's always a good time when I talk with Vinny. So I want to talk today about the New Jerusalem. I want to talk today about the New Jerusalem that's going to come down out of heaven, and ask you the question, is it a cube prison from the sky, and is it soon to appear? And should you prepare to be assimilated? You think it's silly? You think it's funny? Well, maybe you'll have a different take on things once we have a look-see right here. Once we have a look-see, and I don't like it when that one comes up first when I haven't done my homework, but hey, there you go. All right, so let's take a look at the book of Revelation. And we're going to look specifically at the book of Revelation in reference to the New Jerusalem, the new heaven and the new earth. Now, it's important to note that the context of this portion of Scripture is that the earth has just been laid waste. It's just been destroyed. If you're a Christian, you think it's been renewed. Yeah, just like Baghdad's been renewed. Just like right now, Syria is undergoing renovation. Destroyed by fire, destroyed by war, destroyed by famine, destroyed by pestilence. That's what the world, the earth, has been through prior to Revelation 21. And John, I don't think John, well, let's just suspend that discussion for a while and just say it's this Revelation, most of it was written by John, and let's just read it. Let's just read it. I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away. Passed away. What does that mean, that they were passed away? They had passed away. They had gone away from, they had departed, they had returned. They had been blown to crap is what they had been. That's just the plain reality of what has happened up to this point in this narrative here in Revelation. And if you doubt me, all you have to do is read it. So the new heaven and the new earth are supposedly coming down from the same dude that just decimated the last heaven and the last earth. So right away, I'm a little skeptical. Call me a cynic, if you will, but the dude that just destroyed, the dude that just decimated, the dude that just deconstructed, the dude that just totally dogged out the planet says, don't worry, I got a new one coming down, no problem. I don't know if that bothers you, but it bothers me. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth because the first heaven and the first earth had been jacked up and destroyed. Gone. I'm not going to deal with there was no more sea. But living 3 miles from the Gulf of Mexico, man, that sounds bad to me. And I think I know why there's no more sea. But we're not going to talk about it right this minute. Somebody remind me at the end, and maybe we'll get to why I think there's no more sea. And I saw the holy city, the New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. Doesn't that sound nice? Doesn't that sound pristine? Doesn't that sound holy? Doesn't that just sound good? Well, what does it really mean? What does it really mean? Let's look at the New Jerusalem itself. Let me show you the bride, the Lamb's wife. Well, let me show you what that means. And just by way of looking at this, God's now here. God's now taken over, and this isn't the Elohim. This is rat bastard Yahweh. He's taken over. So stop your sorrowing. Stop your crying. No more pain is allowed because all that stuff is gone. Listen, you bunch of whining crybabies. This is what the Lord's saying. He's saying, look, a new heaven and a new earth is here because I done got rid of the old heaven and the old earth. And I'm bringing down my own from heaven. And all y'all that are left, you're mine. Stop your crying. Stop your sorrow. Stop. Tell me about your pain. Because it ain't like it used to be anymore. All that stuff is gone. All that stuff is gone. And he said, let me show you the bride. Let me show you the Lamb's wife. This is going to absolutely blow your minds right here. And this whole talk is going to absolutely blow your mind. But this one right here, I mean, it just starts off with a big boom. Okay, so let me show you the bride, the wife of the Lamb. And if any of you have taken a look at this word right here, you're thinking, that sounds a little strange. Let me show you the bride. You're thinking, holy, pure, chaste, white. Oh, dun, 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 dun. It's the bride, right? Well, it's more like, chicken, wow, now. You reading that? It's the marriage bed for sexual relations. And this is creepy. The word signifies both bride and daughter-in-law. So far from it being dun, 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 dun. It's really chicka, wicka, wow, wow. People know what I'm talking about. So it's not really a holy scene. It's a holy mackerel scene. Because come check out the trollop. Come check out the strumpet. Come check out the one that the Lord's going to be doing you know what to forever. Come check out the bitches of the Lord. That's what the Greek says. Don't get mad at me. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just here to report the news. Come check out the bitches of the Lord. Woo! It's good to be the king. Evidently, it's good to be the Lord. And, you know, all of this imagery is Old Testament. We're going to see that. And guess what they did in the Old Testament? They didn't have just one nymphette. They had them a whole stable of nymphets, a whole harem scarum. Here comes the Lord, I'm the Lord, I'm the, you know, what's that, you know, that Conor McGregor, Vince McMahon, that's the Lord walking in, yeah, here I come. It's in the Greek. It's right here in the Greek. I know some of you are upset with me, and I think the thing that really bothers you is that I enjoy it so much, but that's what he's saying. Let me show you, and see nymphen. I think that's plural. Let's see, what does it say? Yeah. Let me show you the young babes that the Lord's got lined up for all eternity. That Lord, he's a pimp. It's right there. Okay, 21:10. 21:10. Carried me away in the Spirit, showed me the New Jerusalem. It's descending out of heaven from God. Oh, that's because God's up there and it's coming down from God, so it had to be from God, right? Well, actually, it says it's descending. It is coming down. It's descending. It's coming down. It's descending in the visible sky, in the air, we could say, from, away from, away from, away from God. Wait a second. The New Jerusalem is being lowered but remains suspended in the air, and it's coming down away from God. Wow. That kind of changes your perspective on some things. It's coming down away from the gods. And it's in the air. Does anyone remember a little verse called Ephesians? I know Paul wrote it, but sometimes they got to tell you the truth. It's just some of their weird thing they got to do is tell people what they're going to do and kind of broadcast and let us know. And I don't understand it, but the New Jerusalem's coming down away from God, and it's staying in the air. The prince of the powers of the air, the Lord, his city that he's bringing down to the earth that he just wrecked. And again, this is all the Lord's big fantasy. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. And here comes his city coming away from God, descending away from God, which he's been doing since the first time he destroyed the earth. Remember, this is a guy that in Genesis 1:2 destroyed the earth the first time. Here he is in Revelation 21 destroying it yet again. Here's something for you. I didn't even think about this. What did the Lord say the first time he destroyed the earth? Well, you know what? I'm never going to destroy it again by water. He hedged his bet. I will never destroy the earth again That's what he said. You can look that up. He said he'd never destroy the earth again by water. Well, he didn't destroy it by water. And in fact, in a perfectly Lord-like, twisted sense of, ha, 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 I told you I wouldn't destroy it by water anymore. I told him, oh, you won't believe this. Oh, man, let me tell you, I told him I wouldn't ever destroy it again by water. Oh, and guess what I did? The next time I destroyed it, I got rid of all the water. Oh, man, that's funny. Stop it, Lord. You're making my side hurt. Oh, that's some funny. Oh, yeah, Lord. Dan, you're funny. I will never destroy the earth again by water. In fact, next time I do it, I'll take all the water away. Don't say I didn't do what I said I was going to do. That's what you call a gotcha from a vindictive, jealous Lord. That just came to me, and that's not what I was talking about. The reason I was saying there's no more sea, because if there's no more sea, you can put more slaves in stuff. But at any rate, we got a textual confirmation of why there might be no more sea. But at any rate, we saw the pimp and his bitches. You know, I'm telling you what the Greek says, and I'm contextualizing myself to modern vernacular. And his city is coming down to the earth that he just destroyed, and it's coming away, descending away from the gods, and it's hovering in midair because he's the prince of the powers of the air. And can't read my notes. And you know what? Something just struck me. We're talking about the bride, and we expect it to be a bride, right? Holy, white, just, virtuous. You know, you expect dun dun dun, right? You expect that. But then you see that it's a nymphet. Remember we saw it's a nymphet? That's what it just all of a sudden reminded me of. And the woman was arrayed in purple, scarlet, decked with gold, precious stones, pearls, had a gold cup in her hand, full of abominations, filthiness of fornication. Upon her forehead was a name written, Ho! Mystery Babylon, Ho, and even the mother of hoes. Drunken with the blood of the saints, with the blood of the martyrs. And when I saw her, I was stupefied. Isn't that exactly the kind of chick that the Lord would be like, oh, she's hot. Man, she's a nymphet. She's all drunk up on all the people I've been killing ever since the first time I started this killing of the whole earth. The Lord says, I'm the Lord. I'm in the people killing business. And cousin, ever since the beginning, business have been a booming. That almost doesn't even have to be discussed any further. And keep in mind, what's she decked out with? Gold. What's she decked out with? Precious stones. What's she decked out with? Pearls. What's she decked out with? Golden cups. What is she? She's a nymphet. All drunken with the blood of the saints and the blood of the martyrs. Who's been killing more people for more time than anybody else. The Lord, Yahweh, Jehovah, Yaldabaoth, Marduk, rat bastard. That just came to my mind. Keep that in mind. So I saw that New Jerusalem descending away from the gods, but it's descending away from the gods, but it has the glory of God. So wait a minute, Jeff, what are you telling me? It's descending away from the gods, but it has the glory of the gods? Come on, man, you're not telling me the truth. Okay, it's descending away from the gods. It stays in the air because he's the prince of the power of the air. And well, let's look at verse 11. It has the glory of God. Okay, well, let's look and see. Maybe you're right and maybe I'm wrong. Do you really think I would come on with this if I didn't know what I was talking about? And it has the glory of the Theo, which is normally Elohim. I'm the Lord, I wrecked the place. Here comes my new city that I set up. And my new babes. And don't worry, because this city is just as good as the other was. Trust me. What does that word mean, the glory of the God? It means in the personal opinion of the dude that just destroyed everything, in the personal opinion and in the value as determined by the dude that's bringing down his new stuff because he just wrecked all the old stuff, in the personal opinion, in the eyes of the guy that just wrecked everything, determining the value, he thinks, glory, glory, this is glorious. And not only is it glorious, but it's glorious in an Old Testament kind of way. He just wrecked everything. He's bringing down his city. He's got bitches in there. It's full of bitches, nymphets. It stays in the air where he's the prince of the powers of the air. It's descending away from the gods, and the glory that he says it has is in his own personal opinion and determined through his own eyes in a Old Testament glory. And what's the biggest, baddest, sorry about that, display of Old Testament glory? Killing fools, cousin. And like we just said, the Lord, he's been into the people killing business for a long time, and cousin business has been a booming and is still booming, and he's full of Old Testament glory. He's got the power, and remember, this is his fantasy, this is his dream. He's got the power, he's got the women, he's got the city coming down. He done wrecked everything and killed everybody that stood in his way all these years. Having in his opinion the glory of God. And then look at this. Precious stones, right? Precious stones. Where have we seen that before? Precious stones. And not only that, the glory of God. I missed something good here. It has a connotation of being heavy and being full of itself. The glory of God, the radiance. We're just going to have to take my word for it on that one. It has the connotation of being heavy. There it is. To be heavy, to be full of yourself. Oh, man. Whew. Yeah. So it's all about a jealous and a God that's trying to show himself to be the rat bastard of all rat bastards. And then what happens in verse number 12? It's got a great high wall. It's got 12 gates. Gates of what? On the 12 gates were the 12 tribes of Israel, yet more Old Testament focus. And by the way, does it have the name of Benjamin on there? Benjamin, who is the wolf, like the wolf in sheep's clothing. The Christ said that someone like Benjamin's going to come, a wolf in sheep's clothing. Did they put Benjamin's name on there? And, you know, this bothers me too. He's focused on the 12 tribes of Israel. Why would he be focused on the 12 tribes of Israel when clearly over here in the book of Acts, chapter 10, and verse number 34, Peter says, I perceive that the true God is no respecter of persons, that the true God does not show partiality. But in every nation he has people that work righteousness, and he's the God of all those people. That's the God of Peter. But when we get over here to Revelation, we got a God that's all focused on the 12 tribes of Israel. The 12 tribes of Israel. How about that? And the 12 apostles of the Lamb. Interesting that it doesn't say the 12 apostles of Christ. Are these even the same 12 apostles that we know of? And is Paul's name on there? And then in verse 15, they start measuring things, right? In verse 15, they start measuring. And all scholars now concur and conclude that, and we're doing here, you know, we're doing this from, we're doing the measuring from 15 down through to about 17. And all of the scholars now conclude that it's a cube. Unless you think I'm trying to put words in Christians' mouths, look at this. Eternal Perspective Ministries. What are the New Jerusalem's dimensions? It talks about what they are. It's a city this size in the middle of the United States would stretch from Canada to Mexico and from the Appalachian Mountains to the California border. The New Jerusalem has all the square footage anyone could ever ask for. 1,400 miles high. But don't worry, it won't be crowded because there's nearly 2 million square miles of floor space. What do they say it is? A 1,400-mile cube. And if each of the stories is 12 feet, it's 60,000 stories tall. Billions of people could occupy the New Jerusalem. Keep that in mind. Billions. how many bitches could I fit in there? That's the Lord. Oh, how many bitches could I fit in there? Huh? It's no wonder some of y'all hate me. And it's not just that dude, but here's Revelation Illustrated. Oh, snap. What's that? Revelation Illustrated. Oh, it's the New Jerusalem. Look at that. Copyrighted work. Revelation Illustrated.com. Look at that. It's a cube. Just like he said it was a cube. It's suspended in the air. Just like he said it was. And it's coming down away from the gods. Just like he said it was. And it's covered with all kind of gold and costly stones. And what is that? Oh man, that's pearls on the side. What did that Revelation 17 say that whore of Babylon was all covered with? Man, this crazy fool might not be so crazy after all. It's amazing to me that they know it. It's amazing to me that they understand exactly what's going on. But they don't see what's going on. So it's a cube, and then look at this. Jasper, gold, jasper, gold, precious stones, sapphire, chalcedony, emerald, sardonyx, sardius, chrysolite, beryl, topaz, whatever that one is, amethyst, pearls, gold. What did that say back there in chapter 17? This whore of Babylon had gold all over her. She had all kinds of precious stones. She was decked with precious stones. She was decked with gold. And she was decked with pearls. And she was decked with pearls. And she was decked with pearls. And on her forehead was a name written. On her forehead was a name written. Remember that? Drunken with the blood of all the people that had been killed. I think that's what we used to call in Bible college a parallel passage, cousin. Let's get to the good part now. What do you say? I'm still trying to figure out how many I can fit in there. Verse 22. And I saw no temple therein. Really? I saw no temple in this new city. Because when you got that many nymphets, who needs a temple? I saw no temple, which made me think of something that I'm going to share with you. I saw no temple. Saw a lot of nymphets in there. Know you not that you are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwells in you, but not in the New Jerusalem, cousin. Ain't no need for temples like y'all. Ain't no need for the Spirit of God. You know why? You may be the temple. The Spirit might dwell in you, but not in the New Jerusalem, cousin. You know why? Well, it's because of this. Ain't no need for your individual enlightenment. Ain't no need for you to have a personal connection with the Spirit of God. Ain't no need for that. We don't need no temples here. Because the rat bastard, he's the temple. You don't need no sun. You don't need no enlightenment. You don't need the sun standing for male enlightenment. You don't need no male enlightenment. You don't need none of that female moon enlightenment either. You don't need no enlightenment to shine on you. Because the rat bastard, he's the one that's going to light it up. You don't need to have no personal connection with no God. Just come into the Lord's new place. Grab yourself a nymphet and just let him tell you what to do spiritually, and you just do it. And you know what? It ain't that big a deal because that's what you've been doing the last 2,000 years anyway. Because you see, this city ain't made for those people that are thinking for themselves. This city's made for those people that are just doing what they're told and following orders. But wait, there's more. And verse 24 tells you that the nations and their kings will bring glory and honor to it. You know what that means? That means they're going to pay their taxes. They're going to bring their tribute. They're going to bring their taxes. They're going to bring their tribute. But wait, there's more. Why, if it's the perfect earth, are they still paying taxes and still giving tribute? And there's a pure water of life, pure as crystal, proceeding out of this city. It's flowing out of the city. Ek porimon, ek out of. It's fleeing the city, the water. What did we learn about water yesterday when we did the Nagamani scriptures? Water means light. Water means life. Water means spirit. Remember the gargoyles? The gargoyles are pushing water out, saying, "Get out of this place. It's full of bitches and hoes." Water's escaping this place. Water's fleeing this place. Oh, Jeff, now you're just getting carried away too much. Really? Here's the great unveil. Here's the big unveil. They've been selling you a timeshare. The Lord's been selling you a timeshare. You don't need anything but the Lord because he's going to shine and you're going to be his servants. Oh, we're going to be his servants and we're going to serve him. I just want to serve the Lord. I just want to serve the Lord. Let's just look at that word. What does that mean? Still want to sign up? Still want to sign up? Still want to sign up on the dotted line? Still want to sign up on the dotted line? This new Jerusalem is going to be filled with slaves, bond slaves, without any ownership rights of their own. I love this part. You want to tell me that these scholars aren't ironically, Ironically, Bill, it's just ironic. Bill, it's really ironic, Bill. Ironically, bondslave is used with the highest dignity in the New Testament of believers who will willingly live under Christ's authority. Can I just stop now? He just gave you the Christian whistleblowers. Bill, it's really ironic that bondslave is used with the highest dignity in the New Testament, namely of believers who are willing to live under authority as his devoted slaves. Ironic, he says? It's ironic? It's ironic that you've been singing songs about the New Jerusalem, and you've been praying for the New Jerusalem, and you've been looking forward to the New Jerusalem, and you're painting pictures of the New Jerusalem, and you're buying pictures of the New Jerusalem because you're so excited that you get to go in there and be a slave. Woo-hoo! We get to be slaves. I remember one Christmas we're sitting around the table. My cousin was yakking. And my stepfather leaned over to him and said, Jason, for Christmas, I'm going to get you a muzzle. Jason sits back and says, he whispered it to him, right? He says, Mom, Joe's going to buy me a muzzle. Brother Jones and Sister Smith, we get to go into the New Jerusalem and be slaves. And oh yeah, remember those gates? A gate lets you get in, but a gate can also keep you from getting out. They got gates in prisons, cousin. Oh, and by the way, not only are you going to be his slave, but how long are you going to be a slave? Forever and ever. And guess what? There's no night there. Well, okay, there's no night. When do slaves get to stop working and go to sleep? Night. So don't worry about your candles. Don't need them. Just keep working. Forever and ever. Forever and forever. Ready or not, here I come. That's the Lord. Prepare to be assimilated. Cube prison from the sky. Soon to appear. Not if we keep getting this word out. Not if we get it out to more people. Not if you subscribe. Not if you like. Not if you share. Not if you go on to your Tinder and your Craigslist and your Facebook and your Twitter and your one of those picture ones, Instagram, and pick all, you know what I'm talking about, and say, you got to check this crazy guy out over here. He's crazy, kind of funny looking, but man, he brings down some stuff you got to see. Do I bring you that to scare you? Do I bring you that to bug you? Heaven forbid that I should bug you. What I do is I bring it to you, number one, so you'll know. If the bridge is out around the bend and I just sit back and say, oh, I don't really want to bother those poor people. I don't want to ruin their drive. Just let them go. They'll find out on their own that the bridge is out. Yeah, at 65 miles an hour. So I think it's more kind to tell you the bridge is out. I think it's more kind to tell you the truth about this thing that you think is so wonderful. Y'all might need to watch this one again. Do you want to be assimilated? Do you want the people you love to be assimilated? No. We can stop this. We can prevent this. That's what this whole thing is about. Stopping this, preventing this. And how do we stop it? We unwind our minds and you, me, we unindoctrinate ourselves.